Hello, fellow moaners. Welcome to Make Yourself Moan podcast. I'm your host, Madison Monroe Curtis, and it's time to dive deeper. Hello, and welcome to the Make Yourself Moan podcast. I'm your host, Madison Monroe. Welcome back. What is it like to be alive but not feel like you're living? Do you feel alive? When was the last time you did something that made you moan? It can be scary when you realize that your life is in your hands. When you feel like your life is in others' hands, your partner, your employers, your families, your parents, your kids, which you should never feel like your life is in your kids' hands unless you're elderly. Even then, good luck with that. We give permission to other people to take some sort of unhealthy control over ourselves, our decisions, the risk we take or typically don't. And I can't help but have this biased opinion that's not healthy. No one else can know what makes us feel the most alive. Whoever you were 5 years ago, whoever your first love, second love, 17th sugar daddy or baby mama was, they don't know who you are in this very moment. We change, we evolve, we adapt, we grow, we break, we heal, we hurt. We're on this roller coaster of life, and we are not the same from day to day, let alone from when we wake up to when we go to bed. That can also be scary and seem like we're not a whole person, like we're inconsistent. However, when we talk about it, when we acknowledge our emotions, how we're feeling, we try to unravel why we're feeling the way we are. That is the difference in feeling like you don't know who someone is from day to day versus being allowed to change your mind. When there's something you feel like doing, but it doesn't just affect you because you have a significant other or kids or pets or a job expects you to show up in the morning. I think it's wise when we're mindful of that and we're considerate and think ahead of, okay, if I were to do this, what do I think it'll look like after I do the thing? And then we make a choice. By doing this thing, is it worth what I can fathom unfolding, or is the risk not worth the reward? Will this make me feel super alive like I've never been before? And am I okay with it jeopardizing what I currently have going on? One time my friend told me, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And that helped me multiple times in some big decisions. So I was really grateful for that information. And then there have been times when I've tried to use that same concept and it wasn't the same because, I don't know, you kind of take a gamble or you snuff it until you're more sure. What does it mean to compromise with ourselves? I picked this mug right here. It's a little TV, as you can see, if you're watching the video version. If you're not and you're just listening, why? This is a special mug. It's like a vintage thick TV. Anyone that grew up in the 90s and before that should know what I'm talking about, especially those in America. It's really cool because the screen right here turns into the colorful lines when the mug is hot enough, but my coffee is kind of cold at the moment. Isn't it weird? Like, you want hot coffee or you want iced coffee, but you don't want hot coffee when it's turned cold? It's weird. Anyways, I chose this mug because I am manifesting a TV show. About what? Well, we'll see if it happens. Everything started with an idea. Sometimes we get discovered off the street and other people inflict their ideas onto us and we kind of just say, sure, okay, that's better than anything I could have come up with. And then sometimes we have these ideas and we're the only one that can see the value in them for a little while or for a long while. And it's up to us to help other people discover us. My friend that I went to Cleveland with, I did go. It was incredible. I had a great time. I got this at MGK's Club 27 coffee shop. Their merch is just iconic, truly. That was the word of the week. Iconic. I got to hand MGK some water. I was actually wearing this exact outfit, I think. I choked like I normally do when I'm around him, and I didn't say anything like I wish I had, as far as, thank you for everything you've ever created. Thanks for sharing your gifts with the world and vulnerably speaking on and singing about the rawest, painful, and biggest in between moments of your entire life, and just literally laying it all out there for others. And because you do that, not only have you obviously impacted millions of people, but you impacted me. You changed my life, and you helped me find the strength and the desire to get myself out of a really scary, terrible time in my life, and to find something that made me moan again. I will forever be grateful to you, Colson Baker, for that. And I wish I had said that in the moment when I got to be face to face with you and I asked you to put X's on me. He told me no, which sucked. He told me because that's a very personal thing for us to figure out why we would get that tattoo. What does it mean to us? Where do we want it? And we can personalize it. What I would have said in hindsight is, I know it's personal. That's why I want you to do it, because you're the lighthouse doing the light where the scared, damaged ships are coming to find a breath of fresh air and relief. And every time I would look at that or be asked about it, I would remember not just the relief after my hard times, but like, oh my gosh, me following my dreams and risking things like going to Cleveland, Ohio for MGK Day, jobless and broke, believing that I am capable of making an adventure like this happen. It would always be a reminder for me to know that it's always worth the adventure and going after what you want. Anyways, the friend that I spent the week with, that I randomly met several years ago in Vegas after the main concert, and is from Canada. We met up, had not seen each other since, had barely talked, but we're both MGK fans. And so we shared an Airbnb for a week. She asked me after a few days of hanging out, what is the difference between prayer and manifesting? Because you use both. And I said, that's a great question. I was like, I'll ponder that, because to me, it's just natural. It is something that I do. I wake up thanking God for waking up, and I pray over meals and for the people that I know and even the people that I don't. But when it comes to like things I want, a life I envision, I believe that yes, I pray about it. Ask God, what is your will in this hard time? Help me figure out what I'm meant to learn here. Please help me survive this. But then when it goes into the manifestation part of it, because I believe both are important, it's a part of how it'll eventually come together if it's meant to. Maybe it's like the meat of it, or one of the core ingredients, because you pray about it, which means basically you're talking about it to someone you trust. And that for me is God when I'm praying. And then I go off of how I feel after that. Do I feel like this is something I should not continue? Or is this something that now, after praying about it, it's that much stronger? It's like a more of a hell yes rather than a hell no. I know, ironic, God, hell. Then I go into manifesting it. Okay, we are speaking this into existence. I will start to tell people around me, strangers. I will talk about it on my podcast. I am then going to also be putting actions into it. Is it writing a book? Okay, well, I need to write chapters if I ever want a book to publish. If I want a TV show, then I need to write a creative deck to then pitch to producers. If I want to have abs, I need to eat better figure out what a calorie deficit actually means, and is protein actually important, and do I have to give up alcohol and cookies? Like, I need to educate myself in what does the follow through look like to achieve this desire that I feel led to, not just from myself, but after going to God about it, I don't feel like it was a hard no, this is not for you. And then I continue down the path, knowing that at any given second there's going to be like 5 forks in the road, and then I'm going to have another dilemma to pray about, manifest about, and then work through. All while having no idea, is this actually a okay, good idea? Is this going to bring financial freedom? Is this going to bring me and my loved ones closer together or farther apart? Is this going to take me away from the love of my life? Is this going to put myself and others at risk? Usually it's all the freaking above. There's been so many things I've done in my life that I'm grateful that I got to do, but those big things came at inopportune times where if I didn't pray about it, then I probably would have cowered out of it and decided that it was too scary, too big. For example, finishing my college degree in Spain, which meant leaving the boy that I had just been so madly in love with for over a decade, where we had finally moved in together, and it was this big old thing, and I didn't want to go to Spain. But if I wanted to graduate on time and not spend another year at college and not be charged another 30 grand to my already growing debt, then that was my best option. And before, I would have always been like, yes, I want to go to Spain. But I didn't at this point, but I did, and lots of stuff unfolded after that. But it was one of the best times of my life. I've been homesick from Spain ever since. And that's another reason I chase a bigger, more adventurous life, because I want to say, dude, I'm homesick from Spain. Let's go there for a week next month. Let's just go. I already have a passport, which I don't right now. I'm struggling to afford a passport in this current moment. And I say that to you as a documentation of where I'm at in my life at this very second. Even if you're watching this, my beautiful dogs, if you're watching this 5 years from now, when I'm 38 and I'm on a yacht in the oceans around Spain, instead of me worried about it's going to sound like I'm lying to you right now, no, it is proof. It is proof of what hard work and determination and faith can do for you. That you can go from here to here. Not because you went viral overnight, not because you were born into wealth, and not because you're just beautiful and everything comes easy to you, but because it makes more sense that none of these things would happen because you live an ordinary life, but you have extraordinary dreams. And you see a lot of, I made it, but you don't see a lot of, man, I believe I'm going to make it, and I don't know how, but I'm going to, and I'm willing to document all the awkward before moments and all the times that it was more cringy than, wow, look what happened. This is where I'm at. I have faith and a feeling that some other things that are awesome are going to happen, but I don't know how, when, where, why. But I do know if I don't talk to you, if I don't dream, if I don't act, my life a year from now, if I'm extremely blessed, will look the same as it is now, where I can drive an hour or 3 and see my immediate family and call my mom and call my 95-year-old grandpa and call my grandma. Even though she can't hold the phone herself anymore because of Parkinson's, my grandpa is able to hold it for her and take care of her in ways that just completely blow anyone's mind. Me and my partner will have dinner together and pray for each other as we go about our days. I'll go outside and feed our chickens and goats and ducks, and I'll walk all of our dogs, including the ones that we're getting to foster. I'll have a church I enjoy going to, and I have friends that play at local bars, and I get to go support them. My life is beautiful and scary. Like, I'm still looking for a job, and I'm racking up debt. And I just had strep throat for 2 weeks. It's not all rainbows, and I know that when I have a lot of money and a condo here or there, when I have a car that I'm not worried about it's going to break down every time I go from one place to the next, I know that that's not just going to bring me happiness. That's not going to bring me a promise that I'm going to wake up tomorrow, have good health, or that my loved ones are going to support me and be around to celebrate with me. I just know that for some crazy reason beyond what I can fully explain, I'm willing to compromise with myself and painfully miss birthdays, holidays, and moments where my loved ones need me to physically be present, but instead I feel magnetically pulled to be far away from them, risking it all, risking my relationship, risking breaking up my home, risking making a bigger fool of myself, and just missing priceless moments with the people I love most in this world to go after this life I just feel led to experience and create without any guarantee or promise that it's going to work out and that it's going to feel worth it. That's what compromise is. It's acting without knowing, hoping, and acknowledging that you're going to need to be able to live with the consequences. There are consequences whether we compromise or sacrifice. But what makes you feel more alive? Most alive? I'm not saying there aren't seasons where it calls for sacrifice. It calls for traveling to the holidays, being at the birthday parties, being at the births of nieces and nephews, showing up because somebody needs you, postponing a trip because of something you didn't expect. Those things are important as well. But if you're waiting to go after what you want for the right time, having the right amount of money, having no one need you, perfectly weathered day, and you have enough gas to get there and back, you have all this savings in case it doesn't work out, and you're going to wait to talk about it until after it happens. Like, has that happened to anybody? I have waited to do things I wanted to do for so many years because I was waiting for that day. A day that has never come. Absolutely never come. Never came. Therefore, I'm aware that this feeling, this voice, this pull that I have to go to California, to travel, to live in a home on wheels again full time, I'm aware that it's unusual and it is a huge risk. I know it's going to come with sacrifice. I'm just excited to have the means to document this on my own. I don't have no film crew. I don't have a helper to edit these or talk about which thumbnail I should use. I don't have anybody helping me do any of this yet. I have a zillion interest that I'm feeding. As a one woman show right now, it's hard to stay consistent in all these areas. So I'm just going to keep doing what I can as I can with what I got. There are days I wake up absolutely depressed and need to be a potato and sit in the sweatpants I've worn for 3 days in front of the TV and binge the new season of something that I've also binged before. I think in ways that can be medicine. I hope you are always figuring out what makes you feel alive, what makes you moan. And don't be selfish. Like, look around, and are there people in your orbit that you see are just focused on helping other people moan? They're focused on everyone around them feeling alive while they're silently dying. They think that their purpose is just to allow other people to achieve their dreams while they exhaust themselves in every possible area. What is it when you achieve your dream and you look around and the people you love are miserable? We can't force other people to feed their dreams, take a risk, and to figure out what they want to do with their life. But we can admit when we haven't asked somebody how are they doing. If we can help someone and we choose not to, well, that's on us. I just hope that we're all out here being willing to help other people succeed, find meaning, be encouraged. It is true that you are responsible for making the most out of your life, and you are the main character of your story. But you probably have some really important co stars that you want to see live a fulfilled life. Sometimes it's as simple as messaging someone and letting them know that you're thinking of them, inviting them along to a dinner, going on a walk with them, sending them a funny meme. Isolation can be really helpful, and then it can be our kryptonite. Compromise is important, but we don't have to compromise all of our relationships all of the time and burn everything down around us in order to succeed. Like they say, when you get to the top of the mountain, you look to your left and right to talk about what you're seeing with someone, and if no one's there, it's lonely. So let's go after our mountaintop, and let's think about who we want around us when we get there. Thank you for joining me today. I am always so honored that you spend any time with me at all. If you like this episode, it means so much if you push that little thumbs up or like or give a review and subscribe or follow or download, because all of that tells me and the world that this matters, that I matter, that what I have to say is meaningful. And that's just my biggest wish in this world. So thank you again. I love you. May you have a really blessed day, and go feel alive. Go moan about something. And if you haven't moaned in a long time, by gosh, make some changes. I know I've had to. All right. Until next time. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to Make Yourself Moan. Remember, self-love and raw truth are your power. So keep diving deeper and turning up the volume on truth and healing. Until next time, I'm Madison Monroe Curtis, sending you love and loud moans of confidence. If you feel led to, please follow me, like, subscribe on all those socials. I'd love it if you send or email me any and all topics on your heart and brain, and let's unravel those together. Until next time, just keep moaning.